Well, it's the opening match of the World Cup, but only one team has shown up to the ground because New Zealand have completely demolished the defending champions, winning by 9 wickets. Not something that anyone would have predicted. England got 282. Both Harsha and Joy thought it was a target that they should have defended, but New Zealand thought otherwise. They won by 9 wickets. Devon Conway 152 not out and Rachin Ravindra 123 not out. Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami Kher and I have Harsha and Joy with me. One thing is for sure that our predictions are completely all over the place, but this is a big statement that New Zealand has made.
Firstly, the only people who were worse than England today
Us.
are my predictions. Yeah, absolutely. I'll take personal responsibility for that. Because not only did we think it was close, we thought it was an England side. But this is an amazing thing. So in fact, in horse racing, there's a thing that if you're leading a horse race, towards the end, the winning team the winning jockey doesn't bother. So he just lets the reins go and allows the horse to cross. And that's where you get the origin of the phrase winning hands down. Well, this was a hands down win, except that they kept their foot on the accelerator throughout. They absolutely creamed England. Amazing performance.
Well, talking about horses, Harsha, why are we calling them the dark horses? We spoke about this in the pre-match show. It's almost like he said that, it's a hands down win, but these horses are those horses which are winning hands down.
I think sometimes words are not enough to describe a performance. Actions do, and I think all we should do is put two hands together and keep clapping all evening, because this was not a win. This was an annihilation. It was almost as if they were dusting a speck of dust off and saying, you go away. It was perfection. You will rarely, I won't be surprised if we do not see a better run chase through this World Cup, and we do not see a better partnership than these two. He gave a racing analogy, the boxing analogy. There's a term called referee stops bout. The referee would have stopped it long ago, because as you said in the intro, there were two teams supposed to be playing, one turned up. I actually thought 282 was good, and as I started to feel stupid, I turned up the volume on the TV set there, and I was so happy to hear Ian Smith, always respect for the person on the ground because they see things differently, saying we thought 282 on a tricky pitch would be difficult. Devon Conway is a wow player because he's a fabulous multi-format player. What have we seen? A 200 on debut in England. In the IPL final, he makes a 40 as if he's swatting flies. And now he starts the World Cup with a 150. But he'll be the first person to say, let me deflect the attention to somebody else. That innings from Rachin Ravindra was, he set the pace and Conway just finished it. This was just free, uninhibited batting. And anybody who wants to watch this batting, just say, take all the pressure out, take the social media out, take everything out, let people play cricket for the reason they started playing cricket. And I mean, you were short of words a couple of times when we were watching it together. So it was just...
No, so I think both these knocks, we need to set some time out separately for both of them because they're both so special. If we can, he set the way, Conway. I had to use it because I saw you twice. But I think if we can start with what Devon Conway has done, because we've spoken about him in the pre-match show, about how we hinted a little bit about how Hussey is somebody he's influenced by, he's chatted with him, and we saw shades of that and how today.
In fact, Harsha was saying something, so I decided to follow up on this story. Just look at that, 152 at that strike rate of 125. Again, we were talking about Jos Buttler at 115 having a great strike rate for this. A strike rate of 125 to start a World Cup on a pitch like this, which we both admit is not the easiest of pitches against a good bowling attack on a big boundaries. So none of those are things that it's not a Rajkot kite, the small boundaries. There was nothing out there to turn around and say that this is easy, this is a pitch to do stuff on. And what I loved about the innings was the amount of time he had to play. And the way he managed to first manipulate the field. He started in the offside, if you remember. His first boundary was in the offside. And then once he started hitting in the off, they started bowling to him in middle and leg. He switched to the leg side. His ability to play around the wicket is absolutely fantastic. And, again, Harsha, as you were saying, there was an Indian coach involved, Sriram Krishnamurthy. He was one of the people who was there when he moved from South Africa, hoping to make a career of his cricket in New Zealand. And amazing. that India connection continues.
We talk about Mike Hussey. I think Mike Hussey would be overjoyed to play an innings like this, because this is just batsmanship that came from of a completely different class. I got to know Devon Conway a little bit because when we were in the bubble for the IPL, we were in the CSK bubble. So we'd meet these people, very simple, very unassuming. Two words I use a lot. I mean, it's a giveaway. I like people like that. I don't like people who announce themselves saying, come look at me. So what New Zealand have done here and what Devon Conway has done here is he's saying, I'm not craving the spotlight. I'm not saying, here guys, this is New Zealand at the World Cup. No, very gently they carved the attack. Now, if you look at that scoreboard again and you haven't seen the game, you will see one team made 282, the other team made it 1 wicket down with how many overs left? 13.4 overs left, and you'll think, man, they must have slogged their way home. How many slogs did you
that's
count?
what we were chatting about, is that I love chatting with you all because I'm very old school. So I love the reverse scoops and the scoops and all these shots that are played. But when you see proper cricketing shots, we were chatting about it and you said, which is your favorite? That one straight drive that he hit, it was so, and of course the many cover drives that he hit, but that straight drive that he hit, just so proper. It just makes your old school cricket fan feel so good.
Let me make you feel a little better. I saw a video clip today of Tendulkar talking to Amrit Mathur. Tendulkar talking to Amrit Mathur about why he played the straight drive. And he said his coach always told him there's never a fielder behind the bowler. So if you get the ball behind the bowler, there's never a fielder there. The two shots that you were talking about, one was along the ground, and then I think Ravindra might have hit one, or Conway hit one, which was straight over for 6. That statement in itself, Rachin might have hit it or Conway, is a tribute to Rachin Ravindra. Because we're not always sure. But Conway's driving through the offside was, left-handers are just born to own the offside. But his driving through the offside. How many false shots did you count?
None today.
How many slogs did you count? Does limited overs cricket have to be slogging? What does limited overs cricket just say? They owned the power play. They just hit beautiful shots. If you're a lover of batsmanship, some might think he's going overboard, or it's just a one day. It was just beautiful batting.
No, you brought up Sachin. That sticks in my ear.
I know you had her at Sachin.
After Sachin, and I zone out a little bit because you spoke about Sachin.
Okay, do you want time to recover? Do you want to play anchor for about 30 seconds?
No, we must. It was lovely to see him in the box today. In the commentary box today, because you said Sachin, we should speak about Rachin. That's a hint there, but he was beautiful. We've seen how he's spoken about how he played in India, his background in Bangalore, played in Hyderabad. He's played across India, which he said has helped him play spin, but he just looked so all-rounded today.
Absolutely. And look, when he was bowling in that first over, and you can make out nerves play a huge part in it. There are lots of long hops, all dispatched to the boundary, then gets gifted a wicket by Harry Brooks. Harry Brooks literally gives a wicket to him. But 1 for 76, and he's probably wondering that, I need to pull my weight. Second over, first ball, a wicket falls and he walks into bat. And then you're absolutely right, Harsha, that was Rachin Ravindra who hit that 6 of Chris Wokes. Yeah. And the great part about it is how early he picked up the slower ball. He picked it up early, he knew exactly where it was, went through with the shot. And that confidence is something that you'll see, his ability to, Conway's is driving, Conway's is round the wicket. But the great thing about Rachin Ravindra, you see, compared to a lot of batsmen, is his ability to take position and gauge pace and length very fast. Which is why the spinners, even Adil is a good spinner. Adil Moeen Ali couldn't really settle down. Both went at 6.7, 6.4. Because the point was, if somebody picks length and picks it very early, it's very difficult to stop him from getting singles, stop him from manipulating the field. And Rachin did that beautifully.
No, what I would like to see is a wagon wheel with Conway shots in one colour and Rachin Ravindra shots in one colour. And I'd like to see what it throws up. My gut feel is it will throw up some great shots by Conway through the offside and some brilliant leg side shots by Rachin Ravindra. I don't think anyone's hit, people have, but it's a while since I've seen someone hit an off-spin bowler against the turn through the onside as easily as Rachin Ravindra played Moeen Ali. And his shots through the onside were fantastic.
Shots through the onside, if I'm not mistaken, I think he 5 sixes is what he's hit today, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. That 1-6, we were both just in awe of that he hit. But again, strike rate of 128, 5 sixes, 11 fours.
picking length early of spinners. The moment he picked length, anything Moin dropped was a little bit short. He was right back there and swing it over the leg side. And one of the things is fascinating. When's the last time these guys have met in a World Cup? 2019. What was Rachit Ravindra doing? Rachit Ravindra was sitting in a pub in Bangalore watching the match with his father and probably wondering what he could have done. After all, he's played the 2018 Under-19 World Cup, wondering what he could have done to change this, where he certainly got his chance. When I won't say, because New Zealanders don't use, Kiwis don't use words like revenge is a dish best served cold. They're not into dramatics like that. Their dramatics are on the field. But this was a calm, absolute surgical removal of England. They just carved them up totally.
You know, I've noticed the name for a while. In Indian origin name, you tend to remember, and then I remember the two names coming through in New Zealand: Jeet Raval, who's Parthiv Patel's classmate, and Rachin Ravindra came up. And I said, yeah, he bowls a little bit of spin, but the numbers were sort of iffy. And then last week, I looked at just the scorecard. I didn't see the warm-up game against Pakistan, and I saw the strike rate. I said, wow, at the top of the order, he's playing shots like those. Why is he playing this game? Because of an injury to Kane Williamson. Otherwise, he's not playing this game.
Yeah, who would have thought? Kane Williamson, we have not chatted about. Like, he would have been there at 3, but...
Who have been the two greatest New Zealand cricketers of the past 10 years? Okay, 3, include Trent Bolt. Kane Williamson, Tim Southee, Trent Bolt. No Tim Southee, no Kane Williamson. Did you miss Kane? All Kane Williamson did today was clap.
Yeah.
So, they're showing that they have the depth, and the only person who might be a little unhappy, he's a team man, he'll be happy, is Will Young. But I think he's found himself out of the side now, because once Williamson comes back, Ravindra will open the batting, Williamson will bat at 3. But such uninhibited free stroke play. To think it comes from a city that's known for traffic jams?
Well, New Zealand did everything right. I don't think there's anything we can pinpoint saying that they didn't do anything. They did everything right, but England has a lot to go back to, because, you know, we spoke about how Tom Latham moved his bowlers around. It almost felt like Buttler was just out of ideas today, because yes, they just completely attacked them. If you have a look at the bowling card, I mean, besides that one wicket that Sam Curran took, just no answers there that England had.
I thought Sam Curran still early. Remember, you look at Sam Curran, you say that 6 for 47, 7.83. The first 2 were maidens, which means he went for 47 in his next 4. That means he was the bowler we thought that is the one bowler whose ability to bowl slower balls, to be able to, you know, vary his length, speed, direction would make a difference. It hasn't worked. And raw pace, that's, I mean, one of the things about South Africans are that they normally enjoy pace. They enjoy pace of the ball. Devon Conway is a fantastic player of pace as well. And the way, I mean, the faster he bowled, the faster Mark Wood went. And if Mark Wood is, you know, not capable of getting wickets in the middle, Adil Rashid and Mark Wood don't get wickets for them, then the English side is in real trouble, because Chris Woakes is clearly not getting swing.
Yes.
So this lot of things that the England needs to look at and wonder, look, it's too far down. This is the squad they have. And I'm sure, I mean, Harsha will agree that they're not going to be as bad as they are, as they look today. I mean, this is really an aberration, even in terms of, you know, the kind of cricket played, how well they played, how badly they played. But there are a lot of question marks, definitely.
White ball cricket here, if Chris Woakes wants swing, he's got to wait till April. When he goes back to Edgbaston and plays at Warwickshire, he's not going to get much swing. Trent Bolt got a little bit of swing. Matt Henry got a little bit of swing. He'll get swing for an over or 2. The most dramatic shot was actually played by Rachin Ravindra against Mark Wood, that pull shot that he played.
Yes, beautiful.
He just seemed to have a lot of time. RCB? Bangalore boy? Yeah, I know people are saying he can't look beyond IPL now. But what I loved was there was no slogging. Beautiful cover drives, beautiful straight drives, lovely flick shots, and clearing the boundary with ease. You talked about England. Did England turn up today? England looked a heavy side, heavy plodding kind of side. I thought they did well to get to 282. But England will go back and say, we need to recalibrate ourselves, because 282 doesn't seem a good score at this World Cup when they play like this. So England is far too good a side to come back and play like this again. But this has opened the tournament. If England were to win this, what is everyone's prediction? England, Australia, India, South Africa, Pakistan. Not really New Zealand. There's someone who's talking at the moment who also said that. Not really New Zealand. They have opened this tournament. And now there's going to be a big fight. I hope New Zealand play like this because they have just lit up this tournament. What the tournament didn't get by way of crowds, the tournament got by way of the cricket.
You know, you spoke about how Mark Wood was bowling quickly and it was going quicker to the boundary. But Harsha, do you think it was a little surprising because we saw Trent Bolt take the pace off the ball and Wood came in bowling like steaming in. So did he miss a trick maybe by not bowling a little slower, looking at what Bolt was doing?
I guess if you're a thoroughbred, you don't canter. So, but Mark Wood has to have a slow ball. I don't recall Mark Wood bowling a great slow ball because we've seen a lot of him in Test match cricket in recent times, and I think there was a spell where every ball was over 140. But yes, they should have taken, someone like him could have taken pace off, could have tried something else. What disappointed me about England was that when New Zealand was 70-80 for one in 8-9 overs, they got 90 in the power play, right?
81 in the power play.
81 in the power play. Even 81 in the power play are still 200 away.
Yeah.
I didn't see a slight difference in approach. Can we try and bowl differently? Can we start taking pace off? Can we pack one side of the field, bowl one side? I didn't see too much of that. It looked like they were shell-shocked. It looked like they thought, yeah, this will end. And it didn't end for 282 runs.
Do you think it was almost like England got a taste of their own medicine with how attacking they were? So it was almost like they got a taste of their own medicine.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the what would bother them is the fact that it was so easily done. I mean, it's not, again, not slogging, not edges, top edges flying to the fence, not adventurous shot play, just brilliant, clean shot play. So that would bother them, that if a team like that other teams are going to look at this and say, if we attack England up front, is this the kind of bowling attack? There's something, again, I'm going back to boxing as an analogy, called a glass chin. So they say some boxers have a glass chin. That means once you hit him on the chin, he's a bit worried. Does this England batting side, does this England unit have a glass chin? So if you counter-attack very fast, do they panic? I mean, they didn't look as if they reacted to what New Zealand did today. And if that is, then other sides will say, let's go aggressive with them and let's see what happens. So you've opened that little crack and you've opened that little thought in other players' minds because every one other team is going to look at, see, everyone's playing everyone. So everyone's now going to look at the video and said, what if happens if you counter-attack England early?
The thought in my mind is, what is a romantic, literature, history-loving Bengali talking about violent sport all the time?
We talk about it.
No, but talking about boxing, for Harsha, do you think for England, they've been knocked early in the tournament, the first game. Is this a good thing for England when they can now counter punch? They know what they've gone through, they know what they need to work on, and it's good to get this big loss early in the tournament.
This is a great format. This is my favorite format of the World Cup. The 92 World Cup had it. The 2019 World Cup had it. You saw in 2019 how Pakistan almost qualified after losing 4 games on the run because this format gives you time to regroup. If this was the 2007 format, England were already looking at return flights. Yeah. You're not coming back from a defeat like this at that 2007 World Cup.
Which we don't remember. Nobody in India
remembers. It's still going on somewhere. But
Nicely played.
Yeah. So this is the beauty of this format, but anybody who has followed the IPL will tell you long tournament, 3 letters, NRR. Keep your eye on net run rate, and this will be very, very, very difficult. England will now need to look at opposition from whom they are banking 2 points and say, we don't only want 2 points, but we want to do to them what New Zealand have done to us because we need to get their run rate, net run rate up very, very quickly. So they've suffered 2 blows. They haven't got points. And they're right down there on net run rate, which, as we know, because we follow the IPL so much, over 14 games, inevitably, when you come to the end, there's net run rate is a factor.
Do you think also there is the net run rate? There's also the factor of Ben Stokes not being there. And this is something which obviously they'll find place for him into the side.
Look, Ben Stokes in his current fitness level is never going to give you 9 games in a row. He's never going to give you 9 games in a row. So you've got to find how best to use Ben Stokes. You know that he has certain issues. Now a new issue has cropped up. And I don't mean to say disrespect, just as a figure of speech, that Ben Stokes sometimes is a really tough guy who gives you the impression his body is connected with safety pins. You never know when it's going. But when he's on the field, he's one of the most breathtaking. I think Virat Kohli said in a recent interview that the player he loves watching the most is Ben Stokes. And anybody who loves cricket loves watching Ben Stokes. But England, if you want him in the side, you want him for 9 games. So they'll figure that out. I mean, so Stokes will come in. He'll come in for Brook. So I guess that's but if Stokes was there bowling, he has it in him to change the course of a game.
Bowling,
in
though, he's saying he's not going to. So he's not bowling.
He won't bowl.
That's out.
That knee is beyond bowling at the moment.
But Joy, just some last words on New Zealand. Every time they come into the World Cup, they just switch on some button there saying it's World Cup time and just come and, outperform themselves, if I can say.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we've been talking about baseball in England, and of course, it is a New Zealand coach. So, I mean, it's fitting that New Zealand baseballed in England exactly the way England has been baseballing the rest of the world. And I think it's a phenomenal result for them. Again, we tend to forget 6th seed, doesn't matter. It's a World Cup. They've been finalists the last 2 times. For whatever it's worth, they're up here and they've shown they're to be counted now. And as Harsha said, the best part of it is it just sets up the tournament because it's unexpected things. When 5 teams are competing for 4 places, after a while things are going to get boring. But when 6, 7 teams start competing, that's when the real fun starts.
Now you want the Netherlands to win a game, or Sri Lanka to win a game, or Bangladesh to win a game, and suddenly everything is open. But maybe New Zealand just sat there and said, what's the Kiwi doing there? I mean, he's not the coach for this side, for England here, but New Zealand played like this. In 2015, New Zealand played like this. 1996 World Cup in India, opening game, Ahmedabad, England versus New Zealand. Nathan Astle hits 100, England beat New Zealand. So New Zealand have this little wood over England.
But do you also
wood is the wrong word to use. New Zealand have this little current over England. I don't know.
But do you also think that, yes, this is New Zealand's style is also to just lay low. So in spite of this big win, there will be all the confidence in going into their next game. But they are kind of people who just say that, Acha, this is done, let's forget about it and just lay low. That's how they'll be going into their next game?
The players, most of them are low-key people, who lay low. But somebody like our friend Simon, I mean, I think, if they go for drinks after the game or have dinner after the game, Mike Atherton is not going to have a very good time with Simon. I promise you that. That much I can promise you.
Well, we were talking about Simon and the pitch, Harsha, but on a serious note, do you think that the pitch eased up a little?
I got that impression. I actually messaged Dooley. And I said, has the pitch eased out or are they just batting that much better? And he said, not a drop of dew, mate, batting better. Now, that is Dooley talking about New Zealand. But I think we know Dooley long enough to trust what he's saying. So I'm cool with
But
that.
look, I know why all this happened. Do you know why?
There's a boxing analogy coming.
No, there's no boxing analogy coming. Simon was there on the ground. He was doing the pre-game show when the English team hit him with a football.
That's what it is.
That's where it is. They had to swear revenge. This is like a good, not Suraj Bhattacharjya, this is like a good 70s film, revenge. Hamare bande ko mara hai.
But Dooley has been in the ring.
As a boxer?
He's a boxer?
Yeah, Dooley's been in the ring. Didn't Dooley have a fight with Chris Keynes in the ring? Dooley and Chris Keynes.
We'll have to look that up or we'll have to get him on Cricbuzz Live to answer these questions.
No, we have to have a bout out here.
Dooley and?
Good question, I'm thinking.
I know someone who's going to be in the audience, who's not going to be there.
You mean me, right?
No. But yeah, that was interesting, the ball hit. But that happens when you're hosting on the ground. It happens a lot. We've seen that a lot. But yeah, but this has been fabulous for the tournament. We were afraid when we saw the tournament and we saw the gigantic empty stands. And we said, is this what we are going to see? But the cricket has said, it doesn't matter.
So the producer has told me that in 2013, Chris Keynes beat Simon Dool in their face-off. So we have it. So maybe a revenge match there. Yeah.
I think, Harsha, you're a two-sport man. You've played cricket now. Perhaps time for another one.
Yeah, rummy, bridge.
Chess. We're doing well in chess.
As a 7-8-year-old, I used to play decent chess, and then I just got bored of waiting for the other guy to make a move.
All right, so
that's the story of my college romance as well. Waiting for the other person to make a move.
I think we should make a move quickly before we go into old romances. We should make a move.
Because you're not old enough to have old romances. You see, the two people with you are old enough to have old romances.
Okay, so moving on, we have to look at what happens tomorrow.
She's stuck with the
because-
two of us.
I don't envy her. I don't envy her at all.
Okay, now
Move
take
on.
two. We're going to take two. We'll try moving on again and we'll have a look at what's happening tomorrow. It's the second game that will be taking place in Hyderabad. Pakistan take on Netherlands. And well, this is a masterclass that we are going to get from Harsha, of course, on the Netherlands team. But first up on Pakistan, I feel Pakistan's coming in. They've had a great 2023. They've won 10 out of the 16 games. The Asia Cup didn't go quite well. The media went crazy. But otherwise, they've been in good form. Openers have been good if you keep Fakhar Zaman out of it. We'll have a look at the squad. But they probably go with their predictable squad, playing their people who we know are predictable. Of course, Naseem sits out because of his injury.
I think the 11 is ready. The only question is, do they play Mohammad Nawaz, who in the warm-up game looked in good nick, bowled accurately, or do they play the very impressive Usama Mir, who can also bat? You're looking at someone to bat at 8. Usama Mir can do that, but he's not like Shadab. He's the more classical leg spinner who tosses it up and looked very impressive in that little phase that he bowled. But they are going to go with Fakhar Zaman and not Abdullah Shafiq.
So your opening
Is Imam and Fakhar.
Okay.
Then Babar and Rizwan, and then they'll play Salman Agha and Iftikhar, followed by Shadab and either Nawaz or, I'd play two leggies, either Nawaz or Usama Mir, and I think they've decided to go ahead with Hassan Ali.
Yeah.
Hassan Ali takes their batting that deep, because even Mohammad Wasim can bat, but Hassan Ali takes that batting that deep, but they also want someone to bowl the new ball, along with Shaheen Afridi. So Hassan Ali will play, and then Shaheen and Haris Rauf.
Joy, you think a little bit of pressure on Shadab? He's not been in the greatest of form.
Yeah,
right?
Shadab has not been the greatest of form, but either if Usama Mir comes in, they need their second spinner to perform. And I feel that if he has that support and Haris Rauf bowls well in the middle overs as well, I think it's going to make a difference. I think that's the one place that they're missing that pie. Are their spinners good enough to win out here? Because if you're going to win in the subcontinent, your spinners must come to the party. Shadab did not come to the party during the Asia Cup. If they get that right, I think the rest of the team is pretty much in gear. And, Salma Agha's given them runs up front. All the rest have scored at some point during the Asia Cup. They didn't end up impressively, but all of them, Babar got runs. Everyone got runs.
Babar gets runs anyway. But Shadab has one thing that other players in the team do not have, which is he's ridiculously quick in the field. It's an area that Pakistan have traditionally been weak in, and it's an area that this team is a bit suspect on. They can, even now at international level, they can still do some comical things in the field, but Shadab is among the best wherever he fields. So he's always plus in the field. He's the vice captain, so they will play Shadab. My question is whether they will play Usama Mir. But they need, from a game like Netherlands, they need a big win. And they need Fakhar Zaman to get into form.
Have to get
because
he's
just
actually
throws
the
his
one
bat.
guy
He's
who
the
didn't
only
get
guy
runs.
who's not been in
Who didn't
form.
get
He's throwing his bat at the moment. He's very hands player, just throwing his bat at everything. And if he doesn't get going, so for Pakistan, starts are crucial. We talked about it sitting here, right here during the Asia Cup. If Shaheen Afridi doesn't get wickets with a new ball, what happens? But Fakhar, they need a start from Fakhar Zaman to be able to get going, because Babar is a different player once he comes at the back of a start.
All right, let's have a look at Netherlands squad now. Netherlands is playing their World Cup after 2011, and of course, they've come off that qualifiers where they've had great form, that big win against West Indies and against Scotland as well. But Harsha, if you have to go and look at the squad, the openers Vikramjit and Max O'Dowd have been doing really well.
Yes.
But
I'm happy to see Vikramjit scoring runs against, because he was struggling for runs for a while. Max O'Dowd is fantastic. But there's one name that stands out. Today we talked about Rachin, Ravindra and sitting in a pub in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Manodu kuda unnadandi akkada Bezawada nunchi Teja Nidamanuru.
Ardhamendi.
అర్థమైంది సార్ షీడ తెలుగు మూవీస్ కరెక్ట్ షీడ తెలుగు మూవీస్
Fantastic.
మన సయమీనేనండి బట్ దట్ ఈస్ అ గ్రేట్ స్టోరీ టు ఓవర్ దేర్ went to New Zealand as a 6-year-old, played first-class cricket in New Zealand alongside people like Glenn Phillips and the others. Couldn't quite make it. Went to Utrecht to try and play professional cricket in Holland. Did good enough to get picked for them. Got a 4-year contract, fulfilled the residency.
Wow.
And now there's 25-30 people coming from Vijayawada tomorrow to watch him play, including his mother and grandmother, all coming to watch him
story.
play.
What an
But that's a side story. Yeah, Max O'Dowd is one of my favorite Associate Nation batter. I love the way, I love his mullet and I love his batting style. They've gone back they've recalled Wesley Barrezzi. He's the oldest player in the tournament at 39. They've recalled Wesley Barrezzi. He's one of those names, you know, you look at old Dutch sides, I seem to remember some names, you'll find Barrezzi.
He might have played with Baz's father also.
He might have played with
Tim.
Tim De Leader, I don't know. But they've got him back because they're missing a couple of people through injuries. And I think the one player they'll, in my view, they'll miss the most of these two bowlers. One is Tim Pringle, the left-arm spinner. He's injured. And Fred Klaassen, the quick. Because Klaassen and Paul van Meekeren they were a really good opening combination. But Bas de Leader, Logan van Beek, Max O'Dowd, these are good players.
But you think, the only problem out of yes, they are inexperienced, but they will be missing, they have only 4 seamers, if I'm not wrong, because of the injuries that have come.
Yeah, but Aryan Dutt is an off spinner who's done really well for them of late. So they've got Colin Ackerman will bowl spin for them. I think Van der Merwe is one of those, what we call chore bowlers, fires it into you and, tries to get it, changes his bowling, does all sorts of things. Again, a veteran from South Africa who's finally, playing there. I think this is going to be a side that will always, again, play
Surprise
above.
you.
Yeah. Yes. They'll play better than the talent suggests, but they're up against a really good team. And the other thing is a bowler, bowlers like Harris Trough, Shaheen Shah Afridi, if you don't play top-level international competition, they're not easy to play against. So,
but you have to applaud the Dutch. They went to play the qualifiers without 5 of their first 11.
Yes.
Who were
because they were not released by the counties.
Who were playing county cricket. They're professional cricketers. They don't make money playing cricket in Netherlands. Absolutely. So they have to make their money playing county cricket.
3 of them are back now for the World
3 of them, Colin Ackerman, Ruloff, they're all back now. But they qualified there through some great... They beat the West Indies in a super over.
Yes.
With Teja hit 100.
I think some 374 or something.
Van Beek finished
and Logan van Beek came back. He finished the game and then in the super over did that too. So they're a side with some character. They've got nothing to lose. Beware the team that's got nothing to lose. But I just think that purely in terms of skill and the others, Pakistan might have way too much for them.
But I think in the 2022 T20 World Cup, they played a hand in helping Pakistan because they beat South Africa.
They beat South Africa.
Do we have any surprises on the cards? Because like you said, they have nothing to lose.
So, my only point is that, of course, given what happened today, we will not even talk about being surprised or not surprised. But it's easier to surprise people in 20-over games than 50-over games because there's more time for a good team to recover. True. Having said that, this is a very good side and it's a side that's, again, what they did without 5 players, nobody thought they had a ghost of a chance for them to get there. But also interestingly, 3 months before the World Cup, they're searching for sponsors, searching for somebody. And when you see teams like, say, India or England, where there are staff of 20, 25 people with the teams, you think of the struggle they go through just to be on the same ground as these teams. And you realize their performance is so much, they've got so much into their game.
Yeah. And this is a rare occasion. They don't play much one-day cricket. I don't think they have a one-day international for the next year against one of the top sides in the world. So they have to make the most of what they have, which is what Joy said. If you've not played the Afridis and the Haris Raufs.
And see what happens tomorrow. But before that, we have to find the answers to Mr. Joy Bhattacharya's question. The one and only time I knew the answer, but I'm going to make
But you almost gave it away just now.
I gave a hint away. Even in the pre-match, it was a very big hint when I said my hero. But
Which cricketer who featured in the 2018 Under-19 World Cup was named after 2 Indian cricket legends? And of course, the 2 cricket legends were Sachin and Rahul Dravid. And if you can't make up your mind, what do you choose? You choose Rachin.
Why didn't they call him Sahul?
Yeah, I think Rachin sounds better than
Rachin is better.
I think Rachin is better. I think they would have looked at both and decided one way.
Yes, I think there must be a whole lot of people who have answered this question because this is, like I said, the first time I had an answer to your question. Our winner though is Rajat Bhargava. Congratulations, Rajat. Please get your answers coming in because your face lights up when you see answers from all your fans, doesn't it?
They always provide answers. My face lights up whenever I see a new name. I'm even happier. But
we've got a theory about these, about when you say tough ones. When you said tough ones, we got a theory that you've got these 4 or 5 accounts on which you reply to yourself and find the answer.
I wish that was the case. I don't know why they do it. And on Arbit days, really tough question. I said, today I'm going to come through. And once in 5 years, I managed to beat them. Once. In 5 years, once.
Okay, we'll set some questions from 1912 or something which are not on Google. Which clergyman rode a horse that had one shoe,
No, they're
horseshoe
tough, they are
missing?
tough enough. We
Which
don't
clergyman
need this.
went to play a test
We
match with
don't
one
need
horseshoe
this.
missing and was 5 minutes late to a game because he was delivering the sermon?
We really don't need this.
I don't even know. I'm just making it up as I go.
We don't need 1912 questions coming in.
I mean, Joy and we are almost there.
But I think, Joy, after today's form that Rachin showed, I think a barber and a fucker will be saying that please make Joy Bhattacharjya write some questions for us. Because the form that Rachin showed today, thanks to his question, we have to credit his question.
Absolutely. It's the only reason he got it.
The only reason.
Yeah, but the funniest line so far in the build-up that I've seen Pakistan always plays the funniest lines. I'm doing this post-game little chat off camera, and I said, "You're in my city, have you had some biryani?" And Shadab says, "हाँ, इतनी biryani खा रहे हैं, इसीलिए slow हो गए हैं field पे." Pakistan will find something funny every time, but I think they're overwhelming favorites.
Yeah, that we'll wait and watch tomorrow. Are you all joining me tomorrow?
Neither of us are here.
Neither of you also.
I am in Hyderabad.
Okay, so Mr. Bhogle, of course, as always, has to come from one place to another flight and constantly fly around everywhere. We'll miss you, and we.
I mean, I don't do movies where I'm in one place for 30 days or 40 days. I don't have that luxury.
You are just contracted by so many. The cricketing world is run by Harsha Bhogle.
When she first came, she was just so much more respectful and so much more polite. And look at her now.
No, but now the head of the family has to wake up early in the morning tomorrow. So I'm going to thank you both. I'm going to thank you both for the lovely game, the opener. This is my first World Cup. It's very special. So thank you very much to the head of the family. Keep blessing us. Joy is loving it. Joy is absolutely loving it. Thank you. And I have to say Joy, sir, because I've called him the head of the family. So thank you very much, gentlemen. I'll be seeing you all very soon, though.
Yes. Absolutely. You'll see us soon. You'll see us like bad pennies. You always turn up.
All right then. So that's all for now. We've had a lovely opener, completely demolished New Zealand's completely demolished England, but it was great fun. It's always fun to be here at Cricbuzz Live. Don't forget to join us tomorrow because we will be here at 1:30 p.m. So see you all there. Good night and goodbye.